authentic voice. Open wide the closing door. Fully forward, heart in flight. No turning back, just pure ascent.
Hello, and welcome back to the Fully Forward podcast. You guys know that we are always talking about moving forward, and today, what I love is that we are welcoming you to the Rhythm of Grace. I think that is so dope because we have the incomparable and amazing Chenarii Bussey with us today,
My own
founder
sister.
of BALMM, which stands for, the acronym is Breath, Alignment, Love, Meditation, and Movement. And that is what we are doing today as we explore biblical wellness. So, Chenarii, thank you for being here. I'm so excited.
Thank you for having me.
We are excited to
I
have you.
am.
And yes, to have Nino's sister with us who does this. Like, that's so amazing. So, thank you for agreeing to come and be with us.
I'm
today.
very happy to be here.
Thank you.
It's exciting. It's super
It
exciting.
is. It is.
My own sister.
And I'm going to let her own sister take it away.
All right, so here we go. This is exciting.
Let's get into it.
It's my sugar, y'all. Okay. So, there. Now we're gonna go right into it.
Let's
Okay.
go. Let's get
So
into it.
there's a common belief in some Christian spaces that yoga or asana practice is inherently demonic. How do you respond to that, and how do you reframe movement and posture as something that can actually reflect humility, discipline, worship, stillness, meditation, and praise in a biblical way?
So I understand where that concern comes from, especially if someone has been misinformed or they're just not familiar with history and studying things.
Mm-hmm.
And so how I connect biblical principles to what they call yoga. I'm not so attached to the label
Right.
or the word, but it's basically your posture, and not only physical posture, but
Yes.
your posture at heart
Right.
and your intention behind the movement.
Yeah.
And if you are a true worshiper and you worship God in spirit and in truth,
That's what it
Yes,
says.
God.
then lifting your hands and bowing and kneeling and all of that stuff, it's biblical. It's there.
Totally.
It's in the
Totally.
Bible. So my God is not going to reject me behind a label. So call it what you want. I call it BALMM, breath, alignment, love, meditation, and movement, because it's there in the word.
And you know what gets me with that is, doesn't the word say every good and perfect gift comes
From above.
from above, right?
Yeah.
So, and we know that everything comes from God, and then man twists and perverts things.
Mhm.
So, if that's what somebody chose to do and label it yoga, right? All of this movement, love, breath, all of that comes literally from God. So, I'm with you on that. Thank you for explaining it, because I've never really studied it, but that's all I've heard too, right? Oh, yoga is demonic. Oh, if you do yoga, that's against God. And I'm like, it's stretching, it's movement, and I don't know where that comes from or
Well,
how.
because people say that because a lot of people in certain cultures, when they do yoga, they're bowing to like a
Other
pagan
gods.
and some
Yeah.
type of
In
other
Hindu or
god.
different
Yeah, like when you go on the nail
religions.
shops and they're feeding the Buddha
Yes,
statue. So
understood.
that is like maybe something like I
Eastern
haven't.
cultures.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
culture and it's deep dive, but our culture is.
Yeah. And then we adopt so many, just living in America, living in this mixed world today, it's so many things that we adopt that, people can deem demonic. Like,
Mhm.
for instance, that we all have our faces done with beautiful makeup on. And what is the history behind that?
Right.
It's cosmetics from the cosmos. And if people really took a deep dive into that, we won't go there today. But, technically someone could say, oh, that's demonic. Oh, that's witchcraft. Oh, the fallen angels came here and they taught that. And so, again, back to what I said, whatever we do it for the glory of God.
Right.
God,
And that's
all the time.
it.
Yeah.
That's it.
And that's why it's so important that we're instructed in the word, study to show thyself approved, a workman who need not be ashamed of the gospel. Because I love studying. I love like researching and words, and I'd be like going deep, 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 right? And I remember once years ago, I was studying indigo. And I wanted to learn about where we get our jeans from and our denim. And it literally was part of the trade from the oceans in the Mediterranean. And they would pick up, out of the earth, the indigo and everything, and then they would use it and crush it to make the dye that we wear as our jeans. But if you don't know that, and somebody says, oh, well, if you're doing this or you're wearing this or whatever, it's demonic. No, go look it up and research it and figure really out, what is going on and study. And then if you have any questions, you go to somebody like our pastor, Pastor John,
So
Break it
well-versed.
down.
Well-versed.
who is
Break it
something
down.
else
Yes.
brain wise. We had him on an episode before, a week or so ago, but his mind is just, you sit and talk to him 5 minutes, you'd be like,
It's a brain pick.
man, and your brain is blown.
Yes.
But that's what you do, right? You go and you get wise counsel. If after you've studied, you still don't understand it. So thank you so much, Nari, for breaking that down and giving me an understanding, because I really didn't know. And I'd rather call it BALMM and follow how you do it, right?
Me too.
So yeah, that's
Because
all.
you're gonna get a good exercise in, right? You're gonna
Yes.
breathe, right?
And it's the bomb. And
The
there's
balm
like
of
a two.
Gilead.
Yes, that's what I was just about
Exactly,
to say.
baby. That's
So
the balm
it's
of Gilead,
twofold.
right?
So when God gave that, He gave balm to me. Um, it was the story of Balm in Gilead. And so
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, so what does it mean? And then he literally spoke to me while I was sleeping and gave me those, the acronym for it. I didn't have the other M, and I knew something was missing, and that was the meditation part. And I was like, oh, it's two M's.
God
I
be
just
talking
heard
to you
all the time.
all the
But
time.
I just heard Balm, and I'm like, okay, it's a
Okay,
Balm in Gilead.
right.
And so I dove into the story, and I love breaking down words and
Yep,
etymology
me
and all
too.
of that stuff. And so I was like, okay, like this is from you, God, because I'm at a place, and this is what Balm is about too, alignment, about I don't want to do it if God is not in it.
We're talking about that not too long ago, the vision continuum and all this stuff, right?
Yes.
We did have Pastor John on, and that all 5 things, right? Financial, mental, spiritual, physical, all that has to be aligned at the same time.
At the
Just
same
like
time.
a chord from in music, right? Where you play 2 or more things
Yeah.
and it's 5, and it's like you have to be aligned. So for you to say that is just so bomb, but BOMB.
Yeah.
But it's soothing, balm, right?
Yes.
And that's what it is. The Balm in Gilead was about healing and soothing,
Yes.
and how you've connected that because God gave it to you. Nobody could sit here and say, oh, what she's doing is demonic, yada, 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 when it came directly from his mouth to your ears.
Yeah, but people do it anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They
they're
unfriend us.
yeah.
She's doing yoga. We're not your friend. It's the devil. Well,
They're-
most people will just have you sitting there like this as a Christian. Don't move, don't
Baby,
breathe, don't
not
look,
doing
don't
anything,
nothing. It's
right?
ridiculous.
Yeah, and so something else that I noticed, because I've been a church girly my whole entire life, but more than just a label of just being a church girl and just going to church. Like I was the baby who was not with the youth and was not with the kids. I was with elders, with the mothers, with the pastors, and I just always wanted to imitate what they were doing, and so I
Oh,
would
you've
be.
been old since you got here?
I've been old since I got
I have
here.
2 that are old
Yeah.
like that have been old since they got here. My younger 2.
And so once I started growing up, because we go through adolescence and you get shy about things. But when I was little, I was trying to shout. I was lifting my hands. I was trying to speak in tongue. I don't know what I was doing, but it came eventually.
kinda look like this.
I know.
Yeah.
She had that little chicken arm, and she would be shouting with her eye looking.
I'm like, what's
We would
going
tease her all
on
the time.
around me?
That's too cute.
But as I became older, maybe like around junior high, like, it was like a shady lifting of the hands. And, I become more aware and self-conscious of who's watching me. And I noticed that, a lot of people, they never grow out of that part,
Yeah.
So now when you're in church, some people, they're here. I am fully here
Baby,
because it's my exaltation.
yes.
And it's a part of balm. It's a part of praise and worship, and just being free with God, not caring who's looking, who's paying attention to you. And for the most part, for the people who feel like it's demonic, lifting my hands in exaltation will never be demonic.
God himself.
To God
Right,
himself,
right,
and
right.
never bowing to an idol. And I listen to
Yeah.
people say this all the time about certain things, being demonic, certain moves, certain postures. But I'll literally go in some of these same people's houses, and they will have statues. They have idols they have deities, something that I'm not.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
I'm
right,
doing
right.
that.
Yeah.
I love that.
And I mean, anything could be an idol or phone. And when we
Yes.
turn over in the morning and the first thing we do is get on our phone instead of worshiping and praising and getting in our word, you've made that phone an idol.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
figure that out. And he says there will be no gods before me. So
Check your heart.
I love it, love it, love it.
Yes. That's awesome.
So if we want to talk about what you've already said a little bit about posture and connecting postures to biblical principles, scripture and movement integration, we see posture all throughout the scriptures, right? Kneeling, like you said, bowing, lifting hands. You intentionally bring those into your practice, but how do you do that when you have someone that, you know, is having a session with you? How do you bring that intentionally into your practice? And how could others bring it intentionally into what they want to do?
So you're syncing poses with biblical scripture, biblical truth. And so if I am in what they called a child's pose, what's going to come to my mind, if I'm rooted in my word, is that, you know, I have to be childlike to get into the kingdom. I am God's baby. And so when I'm down there in a child's pose position, I am surrendering everything to him and I'm letting go of my will. That's another way to think about that pose. If I am in a warrior pose and I'm standing strong in these poses to where I have to use a lot of strength in my mind and breathing, then I'm anchoring myself and I'm, you know, giving myself scripture about putting on the full armor of God. And from there, it just flows. If I'm bowing and I'm bending, I know when I bow to God that He uplifts me. So just connecting those things and it flows from there. That's why it's a flow.
And it seems like it's really flowing, and I don't know why other people just don't get it.
Yeah.
And it's like, maybe try it.
Try it.
Maybe they should try
might
it.
like
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because then that would also bring us to this question. What is it that is one thing or several things that people misunderstand about poses and about posture, right? I mean, you've clearly defined how you link the scriptures, but you know, I've only heard of downward dog or, you know.
Is it the labeling? Is it the
Right.
label it? Because
It is how they label it, but you know, we do got to keep it factual that in these Middle Eastern cultures they have linked it to other gods. And me being a person that I feel like God has grace to, I've studied all kind of stuff and I know that I find God in everything. And so it can be something and I'm like, hold on, that's not right. But if I present it this way, then I'm shedding light to the situation.
it's almost like when you were saying that, what came to my mind was before we didn't have a lot of praise dancing. And if you snapped your fingers, that was more of a worldly thing. Well,
Now
if
we
I'm
having full
snapping my
parties.
fingers as I'm on the praise team because it's the beat of the music and I'm giving worship and praise to God, it literally still comes to my mind like, don't snap because that's a worldly thing. But why would God, that it didn't say anywhere.
He gave us that, right?
That if you, but people.
Well, David danced before the Lord, right?
David danced.
So why are we acting like we can't dance as being Christians in church?
So that's what I was saying. Like it brought me to that. Like they said, if you dance, then that's worldly. But then we can do.
I would be like, David dance. If somebody, an elder, tried to say that.
And then that's how you want to draw people into the kingdom because I know so many people out there who get lost. Like, you know, who have had demonic experiences, you know, practicing because they're not connected. And the word yoga literally means to yoke yourself to something. But the way I look at yoking myself, it's like, okay, well, Christ said his yoke is easy. Like if
his yoke is easy.
And his burden is
yoke
like
yourself to Christ and you're good.
And so it's always turning that around. But when people are misguided and they feel like they can't go to church or be accepted because of these misconceptions, then they go out there and they get lost in the world. And, you know, I've been in deliverance services and seen and had to participate in some myself to help people get free because
Yeah.
you know they'll go into a space of yoga and they're kundalini healing. No,
With the wrong
With the-
mindset and
yeah.
the wrong posture to
Yeah.
the wrong God.
Well,
and the
because
wrong
they don't
deities.
to
have a
yes.
relationship with Christ, so they don't know, and then they're exposed, and then the door is open.
And that's why
Yeah.
people start believing it's a one size fits all. Like if you do this, that's a roadway to hell.
Yeah.
It's always a
Yes.
darkness and a light to everything.
Yep.
And the enemy cannot create anything because God
He
is the creator
of
and he's the
everything.
manipulator and he's
Right.
the great imitator.
Right.
And so, you know, if
He's
you
always going to co-opt or counterfeit something.
yes,
Everything. He doesn't have authority to do anything, so he's going to co-opt it or counterfeit it.
So basically, as Christians, as believers, we need to make sure before we start judging other people to understand that God is the creator of all things that you just said, and that the devil is the great imitator,
Mhm.
and that if it's happening, we have to really delve into it and say, okay, God, where is it that where did it get corrupt, and how can I get
Yes.
back to the original creation that you created it to be?
Yes.
And I think that's what you're doing here, and I absolutely love that because
I
people
do
need to
too.
hear this. So I'm gonna talk about emptying and filling, the emotional and mental reset.
Mhm.
Okay, so what's the difference between emptying your mind and renewing your mind? And how do you intentionally replace negative thoughts with what God says about you?
Well, emptying your mind, it's not, if you really think about it, you have to be so powerful to empty your mind.
Right.
We have so many thoughts coming and going. And so I like to look at it more as filtering your mind. And so you're filtering out all of these negative thoughts and these things that they're coming in your mind. You're constantly worried about your appearance,
Mhm.
getting ahead, whatever it is that you have to do. You deal with all of these little things all the time. And so you're letting those things go, connecting your breath to the breath of Ruah. That's literally anchoring yourself with God. You're letting those thoughts go, and then you're renewing your mind by filling it with everything that God says that you are, because those thoughts are going to come.
You got to show us how to do this.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
It is. You have to release. You have to learn release.
Yes.
And understand that, he says that our thoughts are not his thoughts.
That's
Right?
right.
And
That's
so we have an entire guide, a blueprint for our entire life, right? With the Bible. And so we have to constantly get that, chew on it, regurgitate it, meditate on it,
yes.
and be able to say, no, regardless of that thought that came to me or what someone said, this is who God says that I
Cast
am.
it down.
He says that I am fearfully and wonderfully made. He says that I am, and keep that continuously in our mind and our thoughts. Otherwise, you'd be messed up,
Yeah, because
especially with everything today.
yeah, because the enemy, this is what he wants. He
Absolutely.
wants your mind.
And
That's
people
right.
think it's just things when it comes to that.
No.
He comes to kill, steal, and destroy. And a lot of people, even myself before, would think it's a tangible thing that he's after.
Mm-mm.
Absolutely not.
Mm-mm.
It is a mental, spiritual thing that he's after. Because if he can block your mind and
Baby.
block your spirit, block your gifts and talent, you're in trouble.
Because he knows how powerful you are.
And he's so
Absolutely.
mad. Forget you.
Because God says, seek the kingdom first, and all these things will be added, right? So the enemy knows if he can get your mind, then all these things he can cram up.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, stupid, you don't get to do that.
And
You
you
don't have
find
authority.
you
You're
figured out
illegal.
how to build this strength up
Yes.
through yoga or through BALMM.
Yes.
You built it up, and you and God have a connection that's amazing. You've been like that since you were a kid. I
When she
absolutely
was-
admire it. It's like, oh God, if I can't feel like I can't get to you, I'm supposed to call my sister. Like, can you tell God what I said?
Just pressing your way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
But
love
all
that.
things they do come with a sacrifice. Like this didn't just
Absolutely.
happen overnight. He didn't just give this to me overnight. Like I had to be pressed. Like I had injuries ever since
Yeah.
I was a child, you know.
Mm.
So a lot of people don't know that I am just like defying what I'm not supposed to be doing right now, basically. I'm not supposed to be able to move and my body flow. I'm not even supposed to be able to stand. Like, I have a torn meniscus. I have slip discs in my neck and in my back. You know, my MRI looks like, hold on, like,
How are you standing?
how are
here?
you standing?
Yeah, yeah.
And, you know, I used to have these thoughts because I started off always a dancer at heart. But those things, they wear and tear on your body.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
so maybe about over 10 years ago, and I'm like, oh, God, like, what state am I going to be in when I turn 40 or when I turn 70? Like, and I'm looking at people in wheelchairs, on crutches, and all of this stuff.
Yeah.
And so I go to a church service, and there was a prophet there, and he was off the chain. And so he called me up there, and I'm kind of like, well, what do you got to say to me? And then he's like, God said you're not going to be in a wheelchair. And I'm like, oh.
Baby.
See?
And so it all
Stuff
started.
that was only conversations or things that God could know.
Yeah.
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 Because I ain't
yeah.
never even heard that. And I was, whew.
Yeah.
That's
He's like, his name is
Holding back the tears.
Prophet Billy Wonder, but he's like, you're not going to
Billy
be
Wonder.
Billy
Yeah.
Wonder.
what?
And
Also, Billy Wonders.
yeah. And so from there, you know, I just tried strengthening myself. I knew that eventually I wasn't going to be able to do all of these arabesque and all of those things, but how do I still use my body as an instrument or a vessel to praise and worship and glorify God? And this is it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love that. It's just so amazing, though, that story about a prophet, because you guys know I experienced something very similar. Not like that, but something that was only from God's ears to a prophet, then to me over the last couple months, and it's still reeling and mind-boggling. And it's just like, okay, God, only you knew that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And this man don't know me from Adam, but he said boo, 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 and laid it out. And it's just incredible that God continuously shows us how much he adores us. And just like,
He's so good.
so good.
He's such
Like
a good
birds of the
father.
field, you know, they don't worry about what they're going to eat, lilies in the... Why do we stress so much over little stuff? And he's constantly like, I got you, for real. Just come to me. I got you. And so for me, my life has changed spiritually since February, because he has shown me like, is there more proof? But then a month later, he showed me yet again through another prophet details of stuff. And I'm like, good Lord. And
I just realized how God, he is so awesome.
He's so
But
awesome.
as you're speaking, and I'm thinking of myself and other people, everybody individually, God shows himself through all of us. You're a creative. I can look in the back and see God with all the stuff you're back here gardening and planting, and that's your purpose and your gift. And then here you are, a dancer, also a creative, and then God is showing his glory through you by how you're created, and then you're constantly connecting. You're connecting with the gardens and the vine. You're connecting with your worship and your praise. I connect with what I do. I'm a beauty professional, also a realtor. And when I'm looking, I'm like, I can see God's beauty in the hairstyles and things that I create. And I'm like, thank you, God. It literally instantly just came, and I seen everybody as an individual and God working. Everybody has their own space where God uses them.
Everybody has their space and their
things.
gift.
I can't do all that. What
Baby,
you call it?
arabesque and all that. Right, me either.
But that's
Tell
how
me to sing in a falsetto. I'll do that.
It's kingdom connection.
I love
Right.
Like,
right.
you have to make connections in the kingdom. Like, what we gonna do? Get to heaven and be like, ooh, I'm still judging you. Ooh, like,
It ain't gonna happen.
no, you know,
Well, that's
everybody's
why
worship
I
is different.
said, we had Pastor John on our previous episode, that everything is, and for us, is in the house.
Yes.
Because for all of our episodes thus far, we have not gone outside of victory.
You don't have to.
The gifts are so heavy and everybody does something. So there should never be envy or jealousy, because you are assigned to who you are assigned to. He gave you your sphere of influence. He gave me mine, and the gifts that we all have. Quit tripping.
It's all working together.
It is. It really is.
Yeah, especially when you're leading with love, you know?
Yeah.
I love that. Awesome. Awesome.
I do too.
Yeah.
So do we have a flash round?
We don't have a flash round in here, but if you could come up with some flash rounds really quick. We do a fully forward flash round for all of our guests. and we typically have a bunch of questions laid out. We don't have them right
That are
now.
like
We got so
give one
excited.
word answer for this or one
Oh,
word.
that's cool.
Yeah.
I want to do it.
Yeah.
Okay. So you know her better than I do
I
to talk about whatever with what she's doing. And you are like that. So don't be sitting there only
Well, I
because I put you on the
appreciate
spot.
that. Usually I have like a little baby blueprint. I don't have it right now.
All right. So what I do want to do, Nari, and this might lead to our flash round. I just joined the gym again, and I have a trainer, and I'm working out. But I've had like, and I don't know if it's meniscus or whatever, but I was on the ladder when I was building this tri-level deck, and twisted the wrong way,
My
like
God, today.
4 or 5 years ago. And so every now and then it swells, it does whatever. I'm
Mhm.
limping and everything. And I believe I'm healed, and I laid hands on it recently, and it has not been acting up. But if someone has an injury and they want to do asana practice or yoga or BALMM, what bit of advice would you give them to approaching that if they're scared to do it because they have injuries? But you just talked about your injuries, but you know, if it is a knee or a meniscus or disc or whatever, what advice would you give someone for that?
So, one, listen to your body. And first and foremost, if you feel like you need to seek medical attention or a doctor, do that first because,
Okay.
you know,
That's
you
important.
always
Yeah.
want to protect your vessel. But most importantly, you know, don't look at me, for example, and try to do what I do. You move at your own pace and your own level because there's some things that I could, with my torn meniscus, I can I have a certain range of motion on there. So I'm
Mhm.
only gonna extend within that range of motion.
Yeah, and
So
don't
you do what's
overextend.
best for you.
Okay.
Yeah, and consult a physician. That's better.
Yes.
Okay. You come with one because then we are going to move this little party outside because you are going to actually walk us through some breath and talk about breath and ruach and all that. So,
Yes.
do you have another
Well,
question for Flash Round?
give us one thing you do that's conducive to your morning routine
Oh.
and your connecting worship to God. Give us something that you do in your morning routine with your connection to God. How do you start your morning?
I start my morning every single day. Like I guess I'm used to it. My body just wakes up and it's thanking God already. It's praising God. And from there, I listen to see if he needs to tell me anything. And I pick up my phone and I go straight to my Bible app and I read the scripture of the day, the devotion of the day, and I just sit for a moment, take a couple of deep breaths, turn on my praise or my worship or my piano music, and, you know, ask God, like, what do you require of me for the day? And how do you
Did I
want
tell
me to
you that's
show
been
up?
my thing,
Love it.
girl?
Yeah.
Every day now for the last few months, I'm like, God, what do you require of me today?
Yeah.
And help me to do it. And before going to bed, like, did I accomplish what you required of me today, Lord?
Yeah.
You know, because I really sincerely want to do that and just surrender every single day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Sweet
dope,
spirit,
Nari.
sweet spirit, and gracefully is so what comes to me whenever I'm talking to you now. It's you move with such grace and with a sweetness that's amazing. And
That's
I
why we have you
absolutely
on the Gracefully
love
episode. Yeah.
love
The
this.
Rhythm of Grace.
And I didn't even realize that.
That this was our Gracefully?
But I hear
Oh, wow.
gracefully, and it's just a sweet, sweet spirit. So I absolutely love that. I'm a big sister, but I admire my little sister. I can't dance. So I vicariously live through her whenever
she
I see
can't
her
dance.
moving.
And can you sing?
No.
And she can sing. So be quiet. Don't be talking about vicariously nothing.
I do live
You got some
vicariously through
gifts. She
my
got some
sister.
gifts. Yeah.
You
No, I
know?
get it.
With her dancing.
Yeah.
And I admire to
That's
the
awesome.
fullest, like the movements. It's amazing. So
I admire you too.
yeah, that's great. So yeah. We're gonna finish. That was enough of our flash round since we didn't have a bunch of flash questions. You really went through all the stuff that
We do want to say thank you
Yeah.
for coming to our Fully Forward episode, or our Gracefully episode, and the Rhythm of Grace specifically. Today, you can open up.
Oh yeah, okay.
Girl, we don't hold back. Go ahead, open up.
You don't gotta save it till later.
Christmas time around here. Oh, I
You
love
can smell
it.
it.
And candles. That's what I'm going to. What is that?
It's a
Oh, black orchid. Okay.
Oh, that's
And
nice.
with mahogany teak wood. I love
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
That's always a beautiful smell. Oh, okay. I got some gear.
Fully full.
Oh,
Hey,
yes.
hey, hey, hey.
forward
Yay, I
ever,
love
backwards never.
Forward ever,
it.
backwards never.
So
You hear
you are
that?
now officially part of the Fully Forward family.
Yes.
And you
Yay.
got your gear.
I am very happy to be
Thank you. We're
here.
so glad you
This
came.
is
Oh,
So
I love you
we
guys.
will end this part of our session because we are going to get our bodies outside and learn a couple of moves and get some movement going.
yeah.
And I'm excited about that.
Me too.
Yay.
Let's do
Let's
it.
go.
Yeah.
All right.
Yay.
I just want to tell you, stop chasing purpose
Mhm.
through burnout and start cultivating with stillness, discipline, intentional posture that leads to a genuine success. Keep aligning, keep moving, and always fully forward. We'll see you on the next one. Woohoo!
Inhale. Exhale, contract. And as you begin to contract and release, sinking your breath, inhale and come into cow pose. Exhale into cat pose. Find natural and organic movement here, syncing your breath to the movement as you transition through each pose. Breathe. Notice any discomfort in your body, your spinal area, your wrists, your knees, lower back, and neck. Acknowledging what no longer serves you and releasing it. Syncing your breath with the movement as you transition in and out of cat and cow. Beautiful. Whatever feels good in this moment is good. You are good. You are enough. And as you slowly get into your spine, get into your mind, allow yourself to receive healing that is divine. Inhale, lift your knees from the floor, pressing into the hills of your hands and the hills of your feet. Exhale and lift your sits bones toward the ceiling, keeping a soft bend in the knees. Contract your thighs to lengthen the spine and relieve pressure from the shoulders. Avoid letting your shoulders sink into your armpits. Keep your spine from rounding. As you straighten your knees and elbows, keeping your head between your arms. Hands are shoulder width apart. Spread your fingers wide. Your middle fingers forward and push the ground away with your hands. Keeping a firm foundation. Relax your neck. Draw your shoulders down and back away from each other. Lengthen your spine and imagine your body as an upside down V. If you're feeling any knee pain, slightly bend your knees. Once you find comfortability in this pose, downward facing dog, you can play around a little bit by bending your knees, alternating them, and rocking your hips, pushing them back, but keeping a firm and stable foundation through pressing your hands and your heels into the floor, reaching your tailbone up. Notice your breath. Take your time. Be patient with yourself. You are right where you need to be right now.
Whisper turn into a roar, finding my authentic voice. Open wide the closing door, fully forward. flight, we'll turn it back just pure